In this video, we're going to actually make a little bot that will work and post to Twitter for us. So we're back here at the cpan page for the net Twitter package. And if we scroll down, again, we're going to find this block of the synopsis code. And we're going to start and just copy and paste everything down to hello world here. This will do the OAuth authentication for us right here. And then it's going to use that to post an update. So we're just going to copy that and come over here to our text editor and paste that in. Now what we need to do is Perlify this. So we're really going to code in here. We need to add our top line for user bin Perl. And then we want to include this line for the net Twitter package. That's going to import all the functionality that we saw on cpan. We don't need this scalar util for now, so we can just delete that. Let's save this as it is. Okay, so I'm going to save this as twitter.pl. You can save it as whatever you want, but that'll give us our color coding. Okay, so if we go through the sample code that was provided, the first comment we see is when no authentication is required. That doesn't work anymore. That's old Twitter API, so we can delete that chunk as well. And now we have here the OAuth chunk that we saw before. So this is going to require a consumer key, secret, token, and token secret. Now we saw in the previous video how to actually get those. We have in the code here variables to store them. So we can actually put in our keys and secrets here, or you could put your variables up here and then keep the variables in the code below. It's really a style thing that's up to you. And obviously you'll replace all of these XXX's with the actual values that you'd see in your code. I'm not going to put them in this example for me because then everybody could copy them who can see this on the web, but I'll show you what that's going to look like. So we would copy and paste those from the Twitter apps space and put them in here. Once we have that set up, this will authenticate us, and then we can actually start using this variable NT. That variable NT is an object. It's called NT is short for net Twitter. It doesn't have to be called that, but that's just why that's in there. That's how it got its name. And it gives us access to everything that the net Twitter Perl module allows us to do. So we can use all of the functionality that's in there. You can see down here, it's doing NT arrow update, which means it's going to use the net Twitter package and use the update function. Now, if we flip back to the cpan page, we can actually scroll down. I'm going to search for it in a second, but you'll see that they have all the different methods and arguments listed here. If we look for update, you can see there's a little documentation here. We pass in a status, or there's a shorter version like this where we just give some text. And if we keep searching, we actually find the update functionality down here. And so it has a whole bunch of detail about how we can use it. You can read that all as you like. Reading documentation, of course, is part of what you have to do to use this. But for now, we're just going to use what they have in the sample code for us, which is going to post this update hello world. Now, know before you run this code that this actually will post to your Twitter account. And again, you want to make sure in your app that you're set up to allow to post. So let's go take a look at that, those settings again in the app, because that's going to allow us to see the tokens and the keys and secrets, where we can get those, and also the settings we need to be able to do that access. Okay, so I'm going to go to apps.twitter.com. And then this is the app that I had made. You may just go directly to this next page. Once we're here, we want to click on permissions. I'm going to make this a little bigger. Make sure that your permissions are set for read and write, so it's going to be able to post to your account. Once you've done that, you're going to go to keys and access tokens. And this is where you're going to get the consumer key and the consumer secret. And then if we scroll down, the access token and the access secret. And again, I have these blocked out because I don't want people looking at this video being able to use my keys. But you would actually copy and paste these, access token and access token secret, and your consumer key and secret into the right places here in your Twitter code. Once you have them in there, we actually are going to run this code. So I'm going to pop mine in, and then we'll take a look at what it looks like when we run it. Okay, so here I am in the folder where I had this, and if I do Perl and then my program here, that's going to run. It doesn't look like anything happened because we're not doing any output in that code to the command line. We're not printing anything. We're just posting directly to Twitter. If I shift over to Twitter now, you can see that the first post on here on my account is Hello World. And so that worked. So there you go, really quick and simple example of how to use the Net Twitter Perl module in order to authenticate with OAuth and post.